Coming up on this edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine, now's the perfect time to hit the Pocono Beverage Trail. We'll take you to 2 stops on the trail that have unique drinks and stories.
And it's officially wedding season. See how a couple of venues cater to newlyweds in the Poconos.
Plus, spring is in full swing and so is golf. We'll show you how to save on the game this season.
Plus, we'll head out on a hike and learn the do's and don'ts straight from the park ranger.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching Pocono Mountains Magazine for April 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Hamill.
And I'm Brianna Strong.
And we are here at the Frogtown Chophouse, one of the fine dining establishments throughout the Pocono Mountains, and one of many that's had to persevere over a very difficult year.
Right, and we thought who better to tell that story than our friend Christina Luna. The past 12 months, she's visited restaurants throughout the Poconos. You may have caught some of those segments on Pocono Television Network, and for this story we're about to see, Christina, you visited several restaurants.
Yes, thank you. We were supporting all the restaurants that we could, and we're here to share with you some of those stories, success stories through COVID times.
We're looking forward to that, Christina. Thank you so much for joining us. But first, we want to find out what's been making headlines in the Poconos.
The change from winter to spring is a big story this time of year, including at Shawnee Inn and Golf Resort, where the season teed off the same weekend Shawnee Mountain Ski Area held its last day of the season. WNEP-TV highlighted the rare overlap of seasons.
Ski and golf season will overlap this year, but just for a short time. Ski Shawnee will wrap up its season this weekend.
Well, Monroe County organization gets a massive and unusual donation.
Split Rock Resort in Lake Harmony presented the Salvation Army with truckloads of furniture. The dressers, couches, tables, and chairs are no longer needed since the resort is remodeling more than 270 hotel rooms. The Salvation Army says this donation will help many people in need.
Cocoon Coffee House and Bakery in Hawley got the chef's table treatment on Access NEPA with a nice spread about its place in the community. Serving up food and drink, Cocoon is located at the Hawley Silk Mill.
Forbes featured the Lodge at Woodloch, calling it one of the country's most luxurious destination spas. The article says Woodloch goes the extra mile when it comes to safety and mentions Woodloch's commitment to the Pocono Promise.
And Honesdale makes the pages of a national magazine, Country Living, called the town in Wayne County one of the 10 best small towns in America, highlighting some of the mainstay businesses in downtown Honesdale.
Other big news coming out of Woodloch, TMZ reports that some very famous guests recently spent time filming at the resort. Stay tuned for season 4 of MTV's hit show, Jersey Shore Family Vacation, for more.
Thank you guys. I'm here at Inti restaurant, visiting different restaurants and asking them how they survived through COVID times.
Some were brave and found the opportunity during the pandemic.
The dream of my life is taking the business of Rabado restaurant. Is that Julio, the old owner, he wanna sell the restaurant. So I saw the opportunity, I talked to him.
Another business found an opportunity during the pandemic.
We actually had a girls' night, and over a glass of wine, we started talking about our passions, and food came up, and we discussed how fun it would be to open up a empanada truck. 3 weeks later, we were looking for a trailer and started the process. We opened October 2020, and we started positioning ourselves at wineries. And we were given the opportunity to be stationed here on 434 King Street in East Stroudsburg. And so we're so happy to be here where people could find us every Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
What are you waiting on, spinach?
I'm Latina. My parents are from Puerto Rico, and empanadas are a tradition in our family. And so we thought, why not join 2 different cultures and put it into one empanada. We took her Croatian culture with my Latina culture and created these amazing fillings of savory flavors.
Other running businesses had to reinvent themselves.
It started right on day 1 when the shutdowns happened. I looked at Eric Eric looked at me and I said, what can we do without having guests in the restaurant? And I said, we have all of our festival equipment. We had just bought a minivan. I said, let's put all that into the van. We'll drive to people's houses. I'll set up a kitchen in the driveway and we'll call it Driveway Chef. So we focused right away, how do we keep as many people employed and as many people fed? And that was even like, hey guys, if you need something to eat, come to the restaurant, we'll feed you.
Llama Ice Cream, who was featured in the New York Times as one of the best ice cream places in the country, had its challenges too.
We tried to adapt to this pandemic. We changed the layout of the ice cream shop. We put some division, so people don't be too close to our employees. And customer come, choose the flavor, and we make a party outside to people feel more comfortable. We make some live music outside, people have fun. People try to escape from big cities like New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, come to Poconos, enjoy the ice cream.
And they all came out stronger and wiser.
I learned, so is anything happen in your life, so you need to wake up, you need to go straight.
We just knew that this was going to be something special because of the pandemic. People just really want to come out and just be outside and eat and just relax. And so it works.
Team is number one. If you don't have a team, you have nothing. A lot of people became really family over this time.
Like entrepreneur, we need to keep our mind open to new things, We need to change quick, because if we don't change quick, probably we disappear. We need to all the time innovate it and change in the good way to survive.
I hope you enjoyed all these stories about these brave people and how they made the restaurant survive. And now it's time for me to have some ice cream. I'm Christina Luna for Pocono Television Network.
If you love craft beverages, whether you live in the Poconos or are just visiting, you have to experience the Pocono Beverage Trail. It's made up of nearly 20 wineries, breweries, and distilleries, each with a unique story to share. First up, Blue Ridge Winery. In 2010, Randy and Tiffany Dietrich were on a trip in Oregon. They went to dinner one night, and that experience changed their lives.
And a waiter walks up to us and goes, would you guys like a glass of wine? And we go, sure, why not? Let's go for it.
They weren't wine drinkers. In fact, Randy never tried wine until his early 30s. But that glass at that Oregon restaurant sparked an idea.
We're like, wow, this is great. I wonder if we can grow grapes on our property.
When the couple got home, they went to work studying winemaking and turned their sprawling Saylorsburg property into a vineyard.
And then after that, all of a sudden we're going, wow, we have so much wine that we should actually open a winery in the basement of our house.
They eventually quit their careers in the medical field and built Blue Ridge Winery on their land.
It's one of those things where you jump and then you build the ground to land on.
Today, Blue Ridge offers 40 different world-class wines. The wine labels, just as impressive.
So if you look close, there's actually two little birds on the label. And when Randy and I designed them, those two little birds are supposed to represent him and I.
Guests can relax in the tasting room, outside on the wraparound deck, or even in the vineyard.
Not only can you experience the wine, but you can experience the grapes this close. You can be right in it. And it's just, it's magic.
Also magic, the underground experience. Venture 14 feet below earth to enjoy a 5-course meal paired with wines. The chandeliers are made of weeping cherry trees, which Randy and Tiffany dug up themselves.
It takes about 200 hours to build one, and it truly is a tree converted into an upside-down chandelier hanging from the ceiling. It's got the real Swarovski crystals. It's authentic to the core.
Much like Blue Ridge, the idea for Silverback Distillery was also born during a trip when Christine Riggleman and her husband Denver visited a distillery in Europe.
Christine caught the distilling bug on a family trip to Scotland, and on the way back told Denver she was going to be a distiller, and he said, right on, let's do it.
Today, Christine runs Silverback Distillery with her daughters. Together, they're breaking barriers in a male-dominated industry.
Bourbon and whiskey, especially in America, has been targeted at and thought of as like an old man's drink, and I don't think that's the case.
Christine strives to make an approachable spirit that everyone can enjoy. In fact, this sweet and flavorful honey rye is Silverback's bestseller.
And I think that's totally different than some of what you get out of Kentucky and in the big industry players, where it's all focused on the most intense, the most kind of enthusiast style whiskey.
When women in bachelorette parties stop in for a tasting, they leave with a new outlook.
They're like, oh yeah, okay, I could see myself drinking this.
And Christine's creations are the real deal. In 2019, Silverback took home gold at the New Orleans Bourbon Festival, beating out the industry's top dogs.
It goes to show that like not only can craft compete with some of the bigger names in the industry, but also that, you know, female master distillers, you know, you got to be on the lookout for them. They're coming for the big guys, you know.
Blue Ridge Winery and Silverback Distillery are both part of the Pocono Beverage Trail. You can hit the trail on your own time, at your own pace, or hire transportation. There's still so much more coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine. Stick with us.
Still to come on this April edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine. Wedding bells are ringing for hundreds of happy couples. What makes a Poconos wedding so unique? Find out in a bit. Plus, we'll head out on the Pocono Beverage Trail to learn about some of the wines and spirits concocted here. And then burn it all off with a hike. Get a glimpse of the tallest waterfall in PA when Pocono Mountains Magazine is back after this.
Hospitality in the Poconos is an up-and-coming growing feature.
Personally, what I love about being in the hospitality industry and food and beverage is the creativity that we're allowed to have.
So you can start out in a part-time position, and really if you fall in love with it, you can look at full-time positions and really start to grow.
You're part of a family here.
We do have great income in the Poconos.
Pocono hospitality, it's not just our job, it's our passion and our way of life.
Looking for ways to show your marksmanship? Take a whack with the axe at Pocono Axe Works near Hawley. It's a great way to get out with friends or family and really test your aim. With 12 lanes for axe throwers, Pocono Axe Works is the perfect place to get together and really chop some wood.
Come on out, hurl some hatchets.
Book your next session at PoconoAxeThrowing.com. Welcome back to Pocono Mountains Magazine. I'm Jim Hamill, and spring is finally here, and with it, wedding season. And so there's a lot of different options for brides and grooms to pick throughout the Pocono Mountains for their very special day, including here in Honesdale at places like 6th and River and near Stroudsburg at Stroudsmoor Inn. Ask anyone and they know how important it is to have a special day for their wedding day. And for generations, the Poconos has been providing the backdrop to countless special days.
The first thing we did was pick the venue. We knew we wanted to get married up here in the Poconos, so we looked around, and Stroudsmoor, where we're going to get married, is like a one-stop shop, which has been really helpful for me.
Chelsea Kotz and her fiancé Tom Greaser live in Philly and picked Stroudsmoor Inn as their wedding venue in September.
I like the idea of getting married in like a nice mountain backdrop. I love it up here. I like the mountains, I like the environment, I like hiking.
Not to mention, one of the most attractive aspects of Stroudsmoor to this bride, and many like her, is that Stroudsmoor has everything bridal parties need right here on its 350-acre campus.
You know, they have the florist, they're bringing in entertainment people to meet with us, and photographers and videographers and such. So that's been, you know, I don't have to do any of the legwork.
We take the couple from one beginning stage to the absolute end stage of the event.
Linda Fort and her family have run Stroudsmoor for many years. Many weddings, many cakes, dresses, and I-dos.
They'll be assigned an event planner, actually, who will take them through invitations, itinerary, walk them down the aisle and make sure they're married, and then get them to the party on time.
About 50 miles away, the same kind of nuptial preparation is underway for another young couple, this time in the bride's hometown of Honesdale.
And I think the biggest factor is that here, everyone genuinely cares about making this a special day for us. And a lot of people have really invested in it already.
Mary Martin and her fiance Ryan Moran had been looking at Chicago for their big day, but 6th and River, a venue in a historic factory downtown, won them over.
Having 6th and River come into town, it's incredible.
Love that small town feel. You walk down the street, everyone knows everyone, and it's just very comforting. And then to think about envisioning yourself having a wedding here, it's amazing.
The couple has set a July wedding date, and Catherine Brown of 6th and River is ecstatic to help them celebrate amongst all this brick and beauty.
There's something cozy about the space, and there's something that even though it's a big, huge room, it still kind of envelops you, and we've heard people say that without being prompted, so I love that. That makes me happy.
The former underwear factory was renovated in recent years and now houses other businesses, some that help play a big role in wedding days at 6th and River.
You pick the food, you pick the photographer, the band. So that's been actually a huge blessing.
To have people walk in the door and even just the walk down the hallway, which is kind of dark and industrial, and then it opens up onto the space and they start to envision what their celebration will be and who will be there, and it's been incredible.
Both Stroudsmoor and 6th and River, two of many wedding wishes come true in the Pocono Mountains. Want to learn more? Head to PoconoMountains.com and head to the wedding section. Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network.
Still to come, golf courses are embracing the fresh open air. We'll show you how the 2021 season is shaping up. The melting snow has revealed an unpleasant sight. Find out how you can help pick up the Poconos this month.
Hospitality in the Poconos is an up-and-coming growing feature.
So you can start out in a part-time position, and really if you fall in love with it, you can look at full-time positions and really start to grow.
What I would say to others looking to get in the hospitality industry would be to do it. It's a great experience.
You're part of a family here.
We do have great income in the Poconos.
Pocono hospitality, it's not just our job, it's our passion and our way of life.
Vaccines will be the way we're going to beat COVID. Until they're available, you may have questions. What are the facts?
Rest assured, the vaccine is safe. I've received it, and so have many of my colleagues.
It's our best chance to get back to life as normal.
The sooner you're vaccinated, the sooner we can all breathe easier.
You and everyone around you will benefit from the COVID-19 vaccine.
Need more info? Visit PoconoMountains.com/COVID-19.
Get yours and get protected.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Pocono Mountains Magazine. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Hamill, here at East Stroudsburg University's studio on campus, talking about Pocono perspectives. And over the past year, we've certainly dealt with the pandemic. COVID-19 has ravaged lives and shaken our communities. But prior to that, there has been an epidemic afoot across the entire country and right here in the Poconos, as well as Pennsylvania, and that is the opioid epidemic. Many people falling victim to addiction and a cycle where they could not get out of or struggled to get out of. And today we wanted to discuss some of the stigmas attached to that and how to get beyond that, how to get treatment, how to help one another through this process and possibly even avoid getting into that addiction cycle to begin with. So I want to welcome to the studio here for Pocono Perspectives 4 guests. To my far right, we have Deb Strauss. She's a psychotherapist with St. Luke's University Health Network. And here to my immediate right is Jamie Drake. She's the Executive Director of Carbon Monroe Pike Drug and Alcohol Commission. And to my left, Emily and Linda Leonardo. They have a personal journey of their very own to tell us about today. And I want to welcome everybody here. Thank you so much. Could we start with you both? Emily, you have gone through a tough road, and you've been there for her, Linda, throughout that struggle. You've gone through addiction. You're now in recovery. Tell me what
got you to that point and got you to where you are now? I know that's a long question to answer, but if you can kind of tell us, in a few short words, what that's been like.
Well, that is certainly a loaded question.
Yeah.
To sum it up for you, I think that I was uneducated as a kid about the reality of what addiction could really look like. And so I did fall victim to addiction at about 17 is when things really got bad for me. I had heard inklings of ways to explore the recovery process, 12-step programs, drug and alcohol treatment, and had a hard time navigating those waters. Eventually, the desperation got great enough, which is what led me to get clean. There was no singular traumatic event for me specifically in my story, but the feelings that I felt, the desperation, the hopelessness, they kind of helped me propel into my journey of recovery, which began July 29th, 2016. Gives me a little bit over 4 years clean, and that's from all mind and mood altering chemicals. No drinking, no drugs, nothing at all.
Wonderful, and that's really a testament to your will to get through that, your family's support. And Jamie, I know that you deal with a lot of folks throughout the 3 counties, Carbon, Monroe, and Pike. Her story is not unlike any other, right?
Right, it's not like any other. I believe Emily is fortunate in the fact that she does have that family support. Many people try to navigate that journey alone, and it makes it much more difficult for them. So having support and finding support, I always say, sometimes people don't have that in their family, but they can find it in other folks too that are out there, other folks in recovery agencies, recovery specialists. So there are other avenues, but that is the most important thing, that you have someone to go along that path with you and help you as you're navigating your process of recovery.
Yeah, there were 10 million people in 2019, according to national statistics, that abused prescribed opioids. And that's a lot of people throughout the country. And Linda, I'm sure you can attest to this too, that it is a very difficult path and journey to be on. Even, it affects the people who are addicted, but then families and friends and this whole network of people. So it is more like cancer, like a sickness that affects people who are not directly affected, right?
It does, and I think for us, one of the biggest challenges was understanding what it was. We didn't know. We didn't have these resources that were accessible to us back then that everyone's talking about now. I didn't have people to reach out to say, what do I do? So there was a lot of guessing and a lot of creation of things that we had done on our own, in the house. And I had to take into account the small children, her brother, her sister, who were in the home as well, in order to make sure that she was safe and she was on the path to recovery.
Yeah. So I often say, if, you mentioned cancer. And I often say that if, you said your family member had cancer, your neighbors would be bringing you casseroles and supporting you and doing all that. But if you say that your child, has a substance use disorder problem, most people are saying, stay away from those people. And that's the stigma that families face as well as the person themselves every day when they're trying to fight this battle.
That is a lot to try to understand. And that's why education is one of the biggest components that we really need here. And Deb, you deal with it on a daily basis right now. I'm sure the issue is exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, and let alone the fact that St. Luke's has a huge role to play in kind of getting past that stigma or helping people understand why that stigma exists and why people should be treated as if they are sick with a disease.
Yeah, absolutely. And the disease process affects, like you said, the entire family. So it's not just the addict themselves, but their children, their parents, their siblings. So coming into treatment, I think as a psychotherapist, part of my role is also education and is also stigma reduction. So I'll talk to the family about those comparisons to other illnesses. And I also educate the people that I work with, the individuals who are addicted, that this is a disease process that even when you are sober, even when you are clean, that process is still going on. So when stressors like COVID occur, that disease process, if you relapse, starts not where you left off, but where it would be if you continued to use. So if somebody has a stressor and they start to use and they relapse, we need to get them right back into treatment. And people are often embarrassed, ashamed, they feel that they've lost their clean time. And I've worked with a lot of people over the past year who have had relapses. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, because relapses can happen. And the most important thing is to get back into treatment, find those supports so that you can start getting back into a healthy lifestyle. We've all struggled over this past year.
Surely, surely. And for Emily and Linda, your personal story is one that can hopefully help other people. And so we want to take a moment to look at Emily's journey from addiction and now through recovery before we come back and speak a little bit more with our guests here in studio.
These smiles say a lot about where Emily and Linda and their family are these days. But it wasn't always this happy, this stable. There were years where Emily found herself under the control of her addiction to opiates.
I don't remember a lot of my life. I remember certain events at certain times with certain people.
The photos from that time show a much different Emily, in the throes of addiction. She remembers how it started, struggling to fit in, getting in with the wrong crowd.
By the time I was 16, I was going to school, I was intoxicated on whatever was available, and a lot of the times it would be prescription pills that my friends would bring in from the family medicine cabinet.
It's how countless Americans have become addicted to prescription painkillers. Some fortunate enough to be in recovery, others not. Emily's particular path would lead to some difficult decisions for her mother.
I had to say, if you're not going to get help, you got to get out. Change locks.
Linda and Emily are open about that struggle. They speak from an experience no one should have to go through, even to the point where Linda was forced to seize custody of her own grandson, Emily's son, at 6 months old.
I thought that was going to be like a wake-up call, because she seemed happy and things seemed settled, and my perception was, I guess, a little skewed because, the addiction continued. She couldn't control it.
But in that moment, my thought process more than likely was something along the lines of good, because anything that got in the way of me getting high had to go. And my son was one of those things at that time. I am so incredibly grateful that my mom had Gavin up until the point where I got clean. Gavin was almost 2 when I got clean.
Now Emily is the one helping those who struggle with the same addictions, those who battle the stigma of dependence on opioids.
If I tell you to go to treatment or stop using or you have a drug problem, it's because I understand.
Understanding, something that both Emily and Linda have gained together through the darkness of addiction and the light of recovery.
I am so grateful that we know that there's so many different outcomes that could have occurred, and for her to be where she is now, still so ingrained with the things that have made her successful, the things that have kept her clean. I'm very proud. Very proud.
We want to thank Emily and Linda for speaking with us and sharing their personal journeys. And as we were kind of just speaking while that was on air, you folks can attest that you've each gone through your own personal struggles, but it's hard to understand what family members go through or what the addict goes through. So how do you best describe the approach that should be taken for the holistic approach to recovery?
In its entirety, recovery is a plethora of moving parts, right? So for me, one of the biggest things that I need in my recovery process is identification with somebody who gets it. And I have that.
Mm-hmm.
What I wish that my mom had while I was using, while she was confused and not really understanding what to do or what was really going on, was that same level of identification with family members.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been really important for her. And though my mom did a wonderful job at setting boundaries, displaying consequences, she took my son and took care of my son in a time where I could not and would not take care of my son. She did a lot of things that I didn't understand at the time, but all of her guesses as to what to do were, I think, spot on.
That's wonderful. It really is. And to see these success stories, Jamie, I'm sure that gives you hope for the folks who are still facing that long road.
Yeah, stories like Emily's are the reason I get up every morning and do it all over again. I think most of the people that work in our field feel that, it's a matter of, it's not a job, what we do, and we do it for those little things that we see. It's big things, it's the little baby steps that we see people take every day to be successful, and that it is possible. That's a big message that we try, especially during our recovery month in September, to make sure that we get the word out. We talk so much about the problem, but we don't talk about those people who are in recovery as much as we should. Mm-hmm. And that is our message, that recovery matters and that recovery is possible for people.
Wonderful. Linda, could you speak to, as we wrap up here, just the hope that you have for families to find the right resources? Because as your daughter just mentioned, there wasn't much there for you, but now maybe there are more things coming online throughout all different kind of networks, and that can be really a lifesaver in the end.
It absolutely can, and I see such a difference in just speaking with Emily every day about the things that she does with her job and the interactions that she has, throughout the community, that there are opportunities to create programs for the families, and that could be for the parents, it could be for the children of the addicts, it could be for the sisters and brothers of the addicts as well. The programs that are now in place are so much greater, and there's such a greater sense of awareness than there was many years ago. And I really see that in help and support of the addict themselves. I think that we're all on the right path there.
Yeah. I think it's really important too, again, awareness of those programs that are out there. I feel that families sometimes in their desperation don't really know what is available, that there are more things available that most people even don't realize. Locally we have a group that has met up until COVID, Families Helping Families group. We have some of our local inpatient rehabs that are doing cycles of family programs that are available free of charge through our single county authority pays for those programs. Wow. But it's a matter of making sure that people know that those things are out there for them. And they can always go through our single county authority to get those resources.
And Deb, maybe you could kind of talk about what you suggest to people who come through the system, and you have that opportunity to put them in the right direction. Where should people go? What should they find to get that first step in the process?
There are so many pathways to reach out for treatment. So mental health therapy is one way, because everybody who is dealing with addiction is also dealing with mental health issues. The connection is so strong. So reaching out for mental health treatment, reaching out for medical treatment. There are medical treatments available to help with addiction. It's not just a matter of willing it away. Sometimes you need some additional medical assistance to help with that. So reaching out to your medical professionals, reaching out to 12-step meetings or other sober people. There's so many different pathways, but getting into treatment, not being impacted by that shame, just reach out and ask for help.
That's a great way to leave it. Deb, Jamie, Emily, Linda, thank you so much for speaking with us here on Pocono Mountains Magazine. We want to encourage everybody out there who might be facing a similar situation to go out and seek that help in the community, because it is out there for you. And St. Luke's and other organizations like Carbon, Monroe, Pike, Drug and Alcohol are right there to help you every step of the way. Thank you for watching. We'll be back after this.
Extraordinary care. Outstanding patient experience. Accessible services. When you choose St. Luke's Monroe campus, you choose compassionate care delivered by our highly trained staff of healthcare professionals, all powered by the strength of St. Luke's University Health Network.
PTN, the Pocono Television Network, is everywhere you are. You can catch us on YouTube, Roku devices, Facebook, Blue Ridge Cable Channel 734, and at PoconoTelevision.com.
It's my passion to be around people, to be serving people.
What I would say to others looking to get in the hospitality industry would be to do it. It's a great experience.
I had the opportunity to meet such amazing people from different places.
It's all about the experience and the memories we're creating for our guests, for our visitors.
Pocono hospitality, it's not just our job, it's our passion and our way of life.
Welcome back. Spring is finally here and the snow has melted, but it's revealing an unpleasant sight. We all want to live, work, and play in a clean community, and you can help make that happen later this month. Bottles, bags, and butts are littering our roads.
So this is going to be, we're predicting to be a very, very bad year for litter.
The Poconos need your help.
It takes the whole community to solve this problem. Without all the help of volunteers, we'll never get it to look good.
The Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau is organizing a region-wide Pick Up the Poconos spring cleanup in honor of Earth Day on Saturday, April 24th. While signing up on pickupthepoconos.com, volunteers can choose from 5 designated cleanup locations: Jim Thorpe, Stroudsburg, Milford, Lake Wallenpaupack, or Honesdale.
Well, we realized a long time ago that we needed to be more involved with keeping the Poconos clean and green. We have the resources.
The PMVB's visitor centers will serve as a hub where volunteers can come the morning of the event to pick up supplies like trash bags, gloves, and safety vests.
We really try to make it as easy as possible for the volunteers so that when they show up, we have all the equipment they need.
This is clean mixed paper. This again is
Jim Lambert is Executive Director of Monroe County's Municipal Waste Management Authority. He says one of the reasons roads are so littered right now is because cleanup programs could not operate due to the pandemic.
There is no magic wand to clean it up. It takes a lot of people, a lot of volunteer times, and it's very, very expensive to clean up the litter. It's one of the most expensive things that government spends in a year.
If you'd like to organize your own spring cleanup, register online with Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful. As an incentive, Waste Management is offering free disposal for registered events the entire month of April.
We offer that to keep things clean in our communities.
And it's a big offering since landfill space is limited.
We compact that waste as tight as possible so that we can get more airspace out of that disposal. And so that's why, it's really important to think about what you're throwing away and is it something that can be recycled, reduced.
And once again, our Pick Up the Poconos spring cleanup is scheduled for Saturday, April 24th. Together, we can all make a difference. To sign up and find more information, visit pickupthepoconos.com. There's still so much more to come on this edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this.
Coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine, we're going to go hiking with the pros to find out how you can experience something as magical as this, the tallest waterfall in Pennsylvania, Raymondskill Falls, safely this season here in the Poconos. Stay tuned.
These are the Pocono Mountains, 2,400 square miles of unparalleled majestic beauty. The American bald eagle calls these mountains home. This heaven on earth was created for all of us to enjoy our lives and our place with nature. But littering is a problem.
We found this place clean and green. Let's keep it that way.
Please help. Go to pickupthepoconos.com.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Pocono Mountains Magazine. I'm Jim Hamill, and as the weather gets warmer, more people want to get outside to explore like we've done over the last year or so. So many more people out on hiking trails throughout the Pocono Mountains is a wonderful thing, but of course, we all need to be reminded of the do's and don'ts
when it comes to hiking. You want to be safe and you want to be careful that you're not leaving anything behind. So we wanted to talk to the pros, and today, Kathleen Sant with the Park Service joined us for a hike.
Before we go out though, I just want to make sure that we have everything that we need and that we're going to be safe on the trail. So one of the things I brought was a jacket because it's a little bit chilly today and the weather keeps changing on us. I just want to make sure that I've got some extra layers, which is always a good idea. And then I've got my small pack, not too heavy to carry, and there are some important things in there. First of all, some water. Make sure that you have some water with you. It's also important to make sure that you've got some insect repellent, whatever type you like to use. You want to make sure that you bring a trash bag with you in case you find other people's trash along the trail. And if you've brought snacks, I've got some of those in here too, if you brought some snacks with you. And let's see, I've already checked the map, I've checked the weather, and I think we're ready to go. And I can already hear the thunder of Raymondskill Falls. I never get tired of this view, especially when you come around the bend and there it is right in front of you like that.
Park officials say it's never a good idea to come unprepared for a hike, especially if you're driving from a long distance away and you want to experience all that the Pocono Mountains has to offer.
Make sure that you have a backup plan before you come with maybe 2 or 3 or 4 places that you'd like to visit. And if one of them is full, you can go visit another destination and then come back at the end of the day and see if you can get in then.
Take a look at that.
Then at the end of the day, whatever it was that you brought with you, whether it be a picnic lunch or a couple snacks, make sure that you pack that up and take it back with you to help us keep this amazing place clean so that the next time you visit or somebody else visits, it's going to look as stunning as it does today. It's really important when you get into some of these areas, especially the downhill sections, that you just watch your step because it's really rocky, and those rocks tend to stay moist a lot of the time, so that can be slippery. So use the handrails and just watch your step. Today at Raymondskill Falls in Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area, a unit of the National Park Service. Thank you so much for tuning in to Pocono Television Network.
I never expected that was my heart.
It's a very technical operation. It's an open heart. You know, we're in the Poconos. So the fact that you guys saved my wife's life, it's amazing.
In healthcare, we've shown many, many times that if you have a caring partner, it's a lot easier.
When we had the need, you guys answered the call.
I'm Jonathan. I got the shot.
I'm Luce. I got the shot.
I'm Dr. Cruz, and I got the shot.
It's safe, it's free, and it's our best shot at getting our lives back.
Our hospitals are registering patients online for when you qualify for the next phase of vaccine rollout.
And it's sooner than you think. Go to PoconoMountains.com/COVID-19.
You can find out how to get signed up.
And when it's time, get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Welcome
Welcome back to Pocono Mountains Magazine. Spring is here, and that means golf season is in full swing. And whether you've never been on the course before or you're a seasoned pro, well, golf, it's a game for everyone. And here in the Pocono Mountains, you'll experience championship courses surrounded by one-of-a-kind views. So let's go see how the 2021 season is shaping up. Birds and birdies, all in a day on a Pocono golf course.
You're going to get some amazing views everywhere at every course.
Streams, ponds, mountains among the scenic sights.
It's perfect. Perfect.
Perfect course features, too.
You know, you have water, elevation change. I think we all love the elevation change. It's great exercise. And I enjoy the game. Nice.
And the game is affordable, thanks to the Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau. Purchase a 2021 Golf Around card for just $45 per person. Play twice at each of the participating courses for only $30 per round, cart included.
Golf in the Poconos is just a great bargain.
Pocono Manor is one of the courses you'll experience with the Golf Around card.
It really brings people to some courses that maybe they wouldn't have played anyway, and then they come back.
And these courses have history. Famous golfers and celebrities such as Jackie Gleason, Whitey Ford, Arnold Palmer, Sam Snead, and Art Wall Jr. have all played in the Poconos. Mount Airy's golf course was designed after Sports Illustrated's The Best 18 Holes in America, meaning each hole is modeled after golf's most legendary holes from championship courses across the country.
Really, to do something like that in 1980 is well ahead of what people were doing, you know, in the early 2000s of replicating golf courses.
Courses anticipate another busy season as people continue looking for ways to enjoy the fresh open air. It's brought out players of all ages and abilities.
You know, we're expecting golf to be just as booming and as it was last year with every other outdoor recreational sport.
Whether playing for score or fun, you're sure to have a hole-in-one experience.
The golf course is really great.
You can find more information about the Golf Around card and even book a customized golf package all on PoconoMountains.com.
And Brianna, while you're golfing, you can also check out some things on PoconoMountains.com, including a lot of content that we have. Pocono Mountains podcasts are there, as well as Pocono Television Network. It's streaming live 24/7 at PoconoTelevision.com. And next month, we're going to talk to local nonprofits about a one-day giving event in early June. June 4th is NEPA Gives, so tune in for Pocono Mountains Magazine next month as well.
It's going to be a great show, but in the meantime, thanks so much for watching this edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine and sticking with us. We'll see you again next month. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Pocono Tourism YouTube channel and click the bell button below to be the first to watch new videos. You can also click the link on the screen to watch more episodes of Pocono Mountains Magazine.